We are creating a platform for those who are curious, one that tells the story from the artist's perspective, moments in time captured from the innovators who are reshaping dance, music, theater, and the visual arts. This is the Working Artist Project.
Today, my guest is Miss Debra Cartwright. Welcome to the Working Artist Project.
Hi, happy to be here.
Oh man, world-renowned artist.
No, not world.
So I want to start things out. I want to know what about your story. Like, where did you start, and how did you get here?
Wow, that's getting right into it. Okay, well, I've painted since I was a little kid. I can't remember. Someone asked me my first painting a while ago. Definitely can't remember. But I feel like all kids paint and draw, so you can't really, go by that. Went to University of Virginia. I wanted to become a lawyer because I was and still am into social issues and history, and it's become trendy now, but wasn't so much back then. But that's what I wanted to do, was crusade for the rights for people.
For the people.
For the people. So I went to UVA and switched my major 5 times until I ended up...
5 times?
Yeah, until I stopped fighting it.
How long were you there?
I was there. Well, my dad said there's no choice. You have to graduate in 4 years.
Oh.
You have no choice if I'm going to help you at all. So,
right.
Yeah, I got it together, finally. Majored in art history.
Oh, cool.
Still thinking I was going to go to law school.
Okay.
But I didn't know what to do. And I had this friend, Paula, who I worked on the magazine with. And she said, you are obsessed with magazine layout. That's
Wait,
like all
magazine?
you do.
It was a school magazine?
It was a school magazine called Pride that was very small. She made me the art director. I knew nothing about Photoshop. I taught myself everything. Mm-hmm. And I made these awful designs, but like they look... I knew nothing about design. But I was obsessed with it. I was absolutely obsessed. And she's like, you got to go to school for this. So I was like, you're right. I do want to work in magazines. Applied and went to Parsons School of Design.
Okay.
And then like a year and a half into it, I got a job at Essence magazine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, which was
here in New York City? Or?
Yeah, here in New York City, which was my dream. As for my illustration, I guess that started 2 years ago when I was coming home and at the same time transitioning to natural hair and also wanting to learn fashion illustration. Looking at the fashion illustrations, I was really upset that it was all white people. Right. So I came home, practiced fashion illustration, but put an afro on top of their heads because that's what I was trying to train myself into seeing my natural hair as beautiful, fashion forward.
Yeah. And
also learn fashion illustration at the same time. And what I did was I tried to start a log for myself that I was doing a fashion illustration every single day, and I put it on Instagram.
Oh, that's
to
dope.
keep a log for myself. Not
and then people.
Yeah, and then people just came from nowhere. And we're
wow.
like, oh, whoa, this is cool. Sharing. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, just so I can keep a log that I'm doing this every day is why I put it on Instagram.
So you were just doing it for your own
I was doing it for my own
like,
benefit. It's like, I was like, oh, cool. Instagram can be like a gallery.
Right.
Where I can keep everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm on it anyway. So it's just easily for me to look back and see what I did every day.
Right.
So that was the goal. And then it just kind of, I don't know.
So I'm curious, like, I'm very intrigued by your art.
Yeah.
So, like, how did you come to that process in your development? Like, what made you choose to, you know?
Well, I paint for myself.
Oh, so it was selfish.
It was selfish. It's still selfish. I'm really happy that people love it and they connect with it. And obviously that's great, but I still draw for myself.
Right.
And to get out. I guess I have said that I draw to help our self-confidence in a whole. I connect the most with Black women. And I feel like we've been through so much, still go through so much with, media images saying how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to be, with the tropes we've dealt with historically, being the strong Black woman, being the mammy, all these things that I don't feel like I am, and I don't feel like the Black women I know are.
Right.
So I wanted to create images that I'd like to see out there. So
I dig that.
And that's where it starts, of me. And I'm happy other people connect with that plight of like not feeling connected to what our stereotype is.
Right. So are you like, how do you decide to like depict the women? Like, are you going throughout the city, like checking it out, like, oh, that woman's holding a baby, that's dope, and like sketching, or
no.
How does that work?
Well, also with the whole baby thing.
Okay.
I've only done a few ones with children. A lot of people want me to do breastfeeding and pregnancy and all of that, but I didn't want to do Black women. It's in relation to someone else. I wanted to make us a central character. So when I do things with a couple, or I do things with a baby, or it's all centralized on the Black woman, not her as this mother type, which I feel like we've been throughout history. I want us to be our own singular person with our own stories and our own depth. How do I do that? I have pages of magazine clippings, and I Pinterest like crazy, and I get inspiration from fashion.
Yeah.
Magazines and poses and the new collections and things like that. And then I put Black people in them.
And you just make it work.
And I just put Black people in it, and I'm just like, all right, now it's mine.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. So I also noticed that you have some social commentary in some of your work,
Oh,
like
yeah.
You got the one picture with the it's a woman hugging her son.
It says don't shoot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one to me is very powerful, because it's like a strong Black woman and this little helpless child.
Yeah.
And we all as a people feel that, you know what I mean? Especially with Tamir Rice and all these other kids.
And that's I did that one during a protest in Harlem, and her facial expression in that one, as all of my facial expressions of my Black women, weren't meant to be strong. It was more meant to be scared and vulnerable.
Why is that?
And because I feel like that's what we've had to be for so long, and that's been our trope. But we feel, and we're vulnerable, and we have deeper feelings than being this backbone of a community. We are, I don't know, we have this autonomy to us where it's hard to put it in words. I've also been watching Underground, which is totally like messing up my head right now, and what Black women have been through. Have you watched it?
No, I don't
Okay,
know anything about
sorry.
that.
But the Black women are going through so much, and they're so strong in that, but they're also scared, and they're frustrated, and I want to show that we have, sometimes we feel helpless. And sometimes we feel like the quote unquote damsel in distress. Like we grew up with all these, it's like a juxtaposition for Black women, really, because you're supposed to be this strong pillar of a community, but we've also grown up with the princess stereotype where we want to, be taken care of. We want to be seen as feminine. We want to be the belle of the ball. And so those are just two different levels that people don't usually see us as that part. They don't see us as the fragile feminine, So I kind of go to the extremes in mine. I've had so many people tell me, like, my daughter didn't see Black princesses, and so I show her your drawings, and she's just loving it because it makes her feel pretty. But yeah, my work is kind of to fight the trope of the strong Black woman. Yes, it's good to be strong, but we also have to be recognized as human.
But don't you think that you mentioned that you want to be looked at as like feminine? But don't you think that Black women are overly sexualized and like looked in like that?
I was just having this conversation the other day that sexuality, or the sexualization of Black women, needs to be kind of taken over by us again and be like coming from us rather than fed to us. I think
Okay.
it's great to be a sexual being. We're all sexual beings, but you know, and that goes back to like feminist principles and things about how you can be, it's like the male gaze, like not like owning. It's like re-owning your sexuality. Like these are deep questions you're asking me, so I'm trying to get into it. We need to re-own that sexuality. And that's why I don't do, okay. So there's so many things going on in my head right now. So I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine that there are poses for the male gaze that women do. And there are poses for the female gaze that women do. Poses that are for the male gaze that are seen sexy and for the female gaze that are seen sexy.
Okay.
And they do that in fashion, in like photography, different poses and things like that, and they could be wearing the same thing, but one's going to appeal to men and one's going to appeal to women.
There's a whole psychology going on.
There's a whole psychology going on.
Wow, okay.
So I try to make sexy images that appeal to our sexuality.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to the male sex. And I know I'm doing that right because 90% of my followers are women.
Gotcha.
And I have women in underwear. I have women laid across, the bed with just like a sheet over them. I have women like in scantily clad with their breasts out, all of this. But the poses that I use and the way that her facial expression is not like a come hither. It's more of a sexuality within yourself. Sensuality is what I try to go for.
Right. So
Yeah.
you don't care about the black man's opinion. Is that what you're saying? Because I've also noticed you don't paint many black men.
Well, there's a few reasons for that.
Okay.
One, like my illustration agent has said before, like most people specialize in one or the other, men or women. If you try to paint men, they're going to look kind of feminine.
Okay.
If you're a man that paints, or if you're a painter that paints mostly men, your women are going to look masculine.
Right.
So it's where your strengths are, really. But another reason I don't paint men is because I'm interested in telling my story.
Okay.
And I feel like we all should be able to tell our own stories. And I have a lot of male artist friends, and they tell their story very well. And I let them do that, and
Okay.
I support that, and I listen to them. So I think that's a disconnect between the sexes, that we should listen to each other and respect where each other are coming from. And not try to tell each other stories.
Right. So what advice would you give to, some young people checking this out and they want to follow in your footsteps?
Paint every single day, multiple times a day. If you have a full-time job, get up an hour earlier and paint.
Wow.
That's what I did.
First thing in the morning, you paint.
First thing in the morning, I'm painting.
Going to work, painting your hair.
I thank God I had an amazing boss, and like as soon as the work day was over, I would paint. I would just sit there and
At work?
Yeah. As soon as I finished my work, I would finish my work. It would be after the clock, and I'd be like, all right, let me get this in because I want to go to the gym, but I want to get a painting real quick. And the thing with watercolors is you can take them everywhere.
Right.
So you can paint anywhere.
I wish I could do it with drums. Get a day job and be like,
I know,
all
and be
right,
like, all right, work day's done.
Right. Just tick.
Right. No, she was totally supportive. And like, she's like, I'm just going to watch. And this is the beginning. And she was like, I'm just going to watch you blow up. You're going to do so well. And I'm like, thank you. You're so sweet. And
That's
for
amazing.
believing in me. But yeah, just trudge at it and let go a little bit. Like, also
Okay.
contact people you want to work with.
There you go.
Several times. Because
Be that squeaky wheel.
be that squeaky wheel. Because with dealing with me, it's not like I'm not trying to answer. I just am like, oh no, oh man. So they said it's just like you got to be persistent. Be so persistent, especially when the person's gonna want to work with you. They just don't know it yet.
Right. They don't know it.
So you got to tell them. You got to be like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I got the ebony spread.
Oh.
Is I emailed Ebony.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey guys, you align with what I'm trying to do? And I got, I paint and I would love to work with you.
Yeah. And it was like, great.
And they were like, we'll hit you up later. And I'm like, cool. A couple months later, they're like, hey, we have a job. And I sent that to like 3 different people and only one person responded, oh, thanks. You just gotta, I got a spreadsheet of people I've contacted. Mm-hmm. That's my only organization. Spreadsheet of people I've contacted and when I've contacted them.
Wow.
And yeah, you just gotta fight.
It's a hustle because ultimately you're your own business.
You are your own business.
And that's one of the things that I admire about you, because at least we just met, but online you seem like you got the business portion of your life together.
Oh,
at least your website is together.
I'm
selling paintings for thousands of dollars.
Well,
you doing McDonald's. You suing AKAs.
That looks better than it really is, right? I'm lucky because my dad's an accountant.
Okay.
So I don't have to pay those fees, thank God. Mm-hmm. But those are important. Any illustrators out there, get an accountant because you can write off like everything. And it'll be worth the money you spend on them. And then, even though you're like, you don't spend any money on them. True, I don't.
You were just born into the
recipe. I was just like, But after I went to an illustration business class at VCU, and yeah, they said like that's key. You need a lawyer. That's key. And it would, help to have a little sister who has a degree in economics. So, and that's what I have. And I send her absolutely every business deal that I have. I just had it on my Facebook the other day about how I needed her to go over a contract before I sent it back. She wasn't picking up. She's my little sister. So I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I need you to get Lily on the phone.
Yeah.
Because she has to review my contract. And she's like, Lord, things haven't changed. You a little. Let me call you sister. It was so funny. But she's my business manager. I'm very lucky. I have business people all around me. My family runs a business, their own business.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I grew up with.
So that's why your vibe comes off like that. Because they helped you. They taught you that.
They did. Every time I complained about a boss doing this, my dad's like, okay, that's what you get with a boss. So when you gonna be the boss,
right? Exactly.
And I was sitting there like, you're right.
Yeah.
So when I jumped, they've also been extremely supportive. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Well, you gotta jump if you.
You have to jump.
That's the only option. Jump or sit down.
Right.
This is a very important question to me. This is about me, not about you.
Okay.
Like, what have you learned about life and yourself since moving to New York City?
Oh my God.
I want all the juicy details. Don't leave nothing out.
What? I have my family watching them. What have I learned about myself? I've learned to be less reactionary because New York City will test you. Like, things will not go your way and you will be let go from jobs and you will be like, I'm here to live a dream, to be more patient and just to let things fall where they'll be, kind of let go of your plan a little bit.
Yeah.
And just, realize why you came here. I realize when I'm traveling, whenever I travel, I can't wait to get back to New York City because the drive is here. The drive isn't anywhere else.
Right.
The drive to succeed as a creative isn't anywhere else. Yes, there are places that that influence your work and are huge inspirations, but you just kind of want to soak it in. But when you get back here, you're like, all right, I got to do this. So yeah, it just gives you, there's the drive that's here, but you have to balance that with patience and letting go. It's weird. It's a weird balance. I think I've learned to be more of a balanced person by living here.
Yeah.
So, I wish I would say I'm a more organized person, but that didn't happen.
I think that's genetic. I really do.
Yeah, Dad.
I think that's genetic. It's his fault.
It is his fault. He gave me a lot of things, but that is not it. But yeah, God, definitely a lot of patience. But I'm so happy to live here because when you're going somewhere else, like I said, it's inspirational. I'm talking about like New Orleans or like LA.
I moved here from New Orleans.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And I love it. There's so much inspiration there. I absolutely love it. But when you get back here, as soon as you get off the plane, hey man, come see my show. Hey man, come see this. Right. Hey man, come to this. Come to this. And you get to these shows and you're like, dang, I gotta do something. Like
because everyone else is great.
Everyone else is great, and everybody else is on the ish. Like they are on it. So you're like, all right, I gotta put together my show. He can get a show, which is great. I can get a show. So, yeah, I love it here.
I want to plug you.
Okay.
If people want to come see you, or see your work online or at a gallery, where can we do that?
Not a gallery yet.
If you have a link, we can do one of those, and I'll put it.
Good. It's Debra Cartwright.
DebraCartwright.com.
DEBRA.
Straight up here. Bam.
Yeah. Oh. It's up there. It's floating. It's graphic design. It's what my degree's in. And then I'm the same on Instagram, Debra Cartwright.
Okay.
And then Debra Cartwright Art on Facebook. Somebody stole Debra Cartwright, so there's an art at the end.
Okay.
And I'll keep you updated. Like I blog and stuff. If you want to see my artwork, hopefully I'll have a show. But right now I'm focusing on trying to have a fancy, dancy paint and brunch thing.
Oh.
So that's my next thing since painting and drinking is in now. And I want to like smooth with my followers and have a good time, you know?
That's great.
I have some really dope people.
So they should check your Facebook page for updates for that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Dope. I'm just finding a venue, but that'll be in October for sure. Okay. But yeah, I just want to smooth and have a little fun.
So I want to know what challenges you have to overcome in order to get to your ultimate goal. And what is your ultimate goal?
What is my ultimate goal? That changes like every week.
Well, what is it today?
I like want to. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about, and that's why I like Kanye West so much.
Oh my God, this interview is over.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't.
A lot of people don't, but I like him only because he like. No, there's a lot of reasons. I'm not even gonna front, but I like him because he isn't trying to be bound by one creative form.
Okay.
And like, yeah, that's the reason why I say it. No, okay. And I would like to expand one day into like more like fashion or homeware or some stuff like that, and just to have my work be in people's lives as like a lifestyle kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's an ultimate goal of mine.
Okay.
Probably the main ultimate goal. Right now I'm just dealing with like little goals. I'd like, which is like to have another show and to finish this calendar I have coming out now. Now that I've put that out there, it's definitely gonna have to come out, huh?
Yeah. When's your calendar coming out?
Right.
Come on, set a date.
It's so much work.
Just set a date right now. Facebook Live is listening. My YouTube audience
October
is listening.
1st.
With this year?
Mm-hmm.
All right. October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Debra Cartwright.
Mm-hmm. Now I really got to get on it.
Where can we get it? Amazon? You just going to get it printed on Amazon?
No, I have my shop on my page.
You have a shop on your page?
I have a shop on my page.
This is go to DebraCartwright.com
/shop. I got some phone cases.
I'm going to put it right here.
I would show you the phone case, but it's in the thing.
Phone cases. What else?
Prints. That's about it right now.
Okay. She might have some drawers on there sooner or later, but you know. Anyway, go on there and buy something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty anal about like how I present my work. I package each one myself and I write a little note. And like, as if I ever get bigger, like I'm going to have to give up that. And I don't want to. I like having that connection between each of my followers. Like if I meet somebody out and they're like, I just bought a print. I want to be like, what's your name? They're like, Tamara, I just wrote you a note that I really liked, wherever you're from. Like I just, I was just in New Orleans, and you had me ship it to New Orleans, and I wanted to tell you how much I love New Orleans, and thank you so much for buying this print.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so I like writing those little notes, and I really appreciate everybody buying my
What's
stuff.
your secret to success, you know?
If you know it, let me know.
Come on now.
I just work every single day when I'm discouraged and I'm like, oh God, I don't have a project on the horizon. I got to pay rent next month. I got to live this lifestyle that I'm living, which isn't that glamorous, but I just need to afford my coffees every day, you know? I sit down and paint, which is kind of nice that I have that. It's just like, my secret to success is always go back to your passion, and that'll lead you where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.